Hello, today we're going to take a look at installing the Microscribe Rhino plugin. So we'll begin this by first downloading the Microscribe plugin from our website, and then when we have this, we will simply run this executable. We'll let it go into the standard Rhinoceros 5.0 64-bit plugins folder, and you can of course click whether it will go in for just your user or for all users, and we'll let the program install. So we'll let it make changes, and once the installation is complete, we can close that, and then we can restart the computer. So I will go ahead and hit no, restart, and then go from there. It is important that you restart this computer for the plugin to work correctly. Now that we have restarted the computer, we can come in and begin using our Microscribe toolbar. If this does not show up automatically, the way we go to load this is if we go to our toolbar or tools options, then we go to plugins, and we will look for the Microscribe Digitizer plugin. If we do not see that, we can press install and look for the Digitize microscribe.rhp, open that, and then from there we will have our Microscribe Digitizer plugin. We'll make sure that's installed, and then once we have that, we can come into our toolbar layout and take a look at our Microscribe toolbar and ensure that that's checked on. So when we check that on, it will come up either in a window, and then you can lock that into either the top portion of Rhino or the left-hand toolbar. From here, we will go in and connect our digitizer. So at first it will give you the option to connect either a Faro Roamer or Faro USB or the Microscribe. We want to connect the Microscribe. So once we've connected to the Microscribe, we will need to ensure that the default tip is installed and that the Microscribe is placed in its home position. To do so, we simply rotate the Microscribe counterclockwise until it reaches a hard stop, and then press OK. And that will be with the Microscribe in its home position, which is rested in the cradle. Okay, so from here we have a few different options. The first one is to go in and do our alignment wizard. So the alignment wizard gives us quite a few options to align the Microscribe to our coordinate system. The first thing we have to do is go ahead and define a base plane. So we'll simply do that by measuring points on our base plane. I'm going to do about 8, and then we can go ahead and press measure, then press next, and we have the option of creating the origin by either a point and an intersection of two lines or a circle using the center point of the circle. So we're just going to go ahead and take one point, and if you noticed, I accidentally hit it twice. So hitting the front trigger button of the Microscribe will input points, and hitting the top trigger button will erase points. So from there we can measure that, then press next. Then we'll go and take a point in the X direction. Now we can either do this as we're doing right now by measuring a single point in an intersection of two lines, a circle, or a parallel line. Then we'll take a point in the Y direction, and from here we can see our origin as it has shifted from the world coordinate. So with this particular setup, we have the microscribe alignment set directly into the or set exactly to the Rhino native coordinate system. So now we have the ability to finish this, and we can go ahead and calibrate a probe if we so choose to. So to do a probe calibration, we will left click on the probe calibration icon, and then we'll press our tip profile name equals undefined 1. So we'll go ahead and define undefined 1. So we'll enter our tip name, and we'll just call this 3mm. Then the probe qualification wizard will guide us through setting up our new probe. So once again, we're putting the microscribe into the home position with our default tip. Press next. Then we put our custom probe in with the backing. Then we'll put the custom probe in and put the microscribe back into its home position. We'll go ahead and take the microscribe, put in our new tip, and then rotate the microscribe counterclockwise, placing it in its home position once again, and press next. Then we will acquire 20 points on a calibration block to define our new probe. So to do this, you will have to go ahead and grab your calibration block. If you do not have a M series arm, you will most likely not have a calibration block. With the G series arms, you can either order one through us, Go Measure 3D, if you are using separate tips. If not, your standard G series tip will work fine without a probe calibration because it is a point probe. So there is no need to do this procedure if you're using a point probe, or if you're using the standard tip on the M series. This is only for when we're wanting to go in and put a custom probe on the microscribe. So we will finish this by simply collecting 20 points with the microscribe in, with the microscribe's tip placed into the conical divot of a calibration block. So we'll begin by taking a few points, and the way that we collect this data is by simply placing the tip that we're wanting to calibrate in one of the conical divots. We give you 3 different options of varying sizes, and once you've done that, you want to move the arm in a fairly large range of motion from side to side, up and down, while of course leaving that probe in the same position. So we don't want to move the probe out of the cone, but we want to move the whole microscribe. We want to exercise the arm while the probe is still sitting in the cone and the base of the microscribe is still sitting in its same position. And this is how we can assure a decent calibration. So we need to take at least 20 points, but as you'll notice, we can continue taking more and more points, which will allow us to better define the new probe that we have created. So once we have collected a sufficient amount of points, we'll go ahead and press next, and then again we will put the microscribe in its home position, press next, and then we have an option to do either a point check or a line check, both of which are very efficient and easy to use methods of ensuring that our new probe has been properly calibrated. So we will go ahead and finish this, and from here we can look at the few other options we have on the toolbar. The first one is to digitize interpolated curves. So this allows us to come in and create an interpolated curve using the microscribe. We also have the ability to create a point cloud, so we can come in and create many points using the microscribe. And we have a few other options. One is to digitize a planar section curve, which allows us to take 3 points to define a plane, and then we can create a series of planes based off of that allow us to go in and scrub points back and forth through these planes. As you can see, I'm doing so right now. And the advantage this gives us is if we want to build a lofted surface, we can come in and create specific curves or splines to define that lofted surface. So this gives us a very convenient and easy to use method of acquiring data based off of planes. And then if you notice, we have the options of doing just points, just curves, polylines, and also we have the option of the point spacing. So this is a very easy to use and customizable feature. All of these in conjunction can be used with the rest of Rhino. So if we want to create arcs, lines, circles, splines, what have you, you simply select the tool, and then from there we use the microscribe and begin digitizing just as however we want to. So if you have any further questions, feel free to contact us at www.gomeasure3d.com or by phone at 434-946-9125. Thank you and have a great day.